Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of Get Woke with Danielle Moodie. All right, so let's get into it on this wonderful Wednesday about all of the fuckery that has taken place on the campaign trail, on Twitter Spaces, and so on and so forth. So let's get into it, dear friends. So first off, let's start with Donald Trump's AI meltdown. So Donald Trump, here, let me just show you the image of his Truth Social. What do you do there? You truth? I don't know. But take a look at this image right there. And now the video of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz walking down the stairs of Air Force Two at a Detroit hangar to the sounds of Beyonce and crowds of thousands upon thousands of people screaming for them. So we all know that image is everything to Donald Trump. I mean, the man spray tans, he has a toupee. We know that image matters to him, which is why he said that the Harris campaign had quote unquote AI'd and cheated at having an event at a hangar, and that the images that we all saw all over social media, all of the videos, all of the pictures were somehow false. And also, how do you cheat at a video? How do you cheat at a rally? I'm not entirely sure, but Donald Trump is a fool. And instead of debating, right, VP Kamala Harris on policy measures, on how he's going to be different on immigration, or how he's going to be different on public education, or how he is going to actually serve the American people. What he wants instead is a full blown fucking meltdown over crowd size. Haven't we seen this act before? Oh, yes. We saw it at inauguration. And then most recently at his busted presser at Mar-a-Lago, where he compared himself to, yes, friends, MLK. Nonetheless, we know that Donald Trump is full of shit, and we have video to prove it. But let's transition now to his latest desire for attention. And this is at the hands of Elon Musk and this broke down dumpster fire that we call the Twitter that was. So, this much hype event would have Elon Musk interviewing Donald Trump on Spaces. Um, how did it go, do you wonder? The king of technology, how did things work exactly? Well, take a look. Unavailable. So here's the thing. The interview that was supposed to take place at 8 p.m. on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday, did not get off the ground until roughly 8:30, 8:45-ish, because according to Elon Musk, there was a cyber attack and they were under attack because people don't want to hear the truth that Donald Trump has to offer. Or with us here on Earth One, they didn't have enough people that were gathered yet. And so they stalled. And then they did get on, and Donald Trump proclaimed that there were, whoa, wow, oh my God, 60 million people, except there wasn't, because we all see how many people are on Spaces, and it was 1.1 million. And I would argue that half of those people that showed up were there to mock Elon Musk and Donald Trump. But, who cares? Numbers are numbers, I guess. But does anybody remember when Elon Musk tried this very same little trick when he asked Ron DeSantis to come on to announce his presidency? And again, Spaces failed. But according to all of Elon Musk's sycophants, he can do no wrong, except he does wrong all the time. Speaking of wrong all the time, so in this interview, where Elon Musk was apparently doing his best Barbara Walters impression. And the man, by the way, is good at nothing. Okay. He's good at being rich. And he's good at taking daddy's money, much like Donald Trump, and turning it into more money. But what he's really good at is buying companies, right? He doesn't have ideas. He takes ideas from other people, he buys them, then he tries to cut the cost, and then he runs those companies into the ground. Sound familiar? Yes. Him and Donald Trump have a lot in common, which is why they were involved in their fluff fest, a quote unquote interview. But one of the things that they offered up in this interview as well was Donald Trump hailing, applauding Elon Musk for busting up strikes in his company.
I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, "You want to quit?" They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike, and you say, "That's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone." So every one of you is gone, and you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it.
When workers go on strike because they want better working conditions and safer conditions, and Donald Trump decided to applaud Elon Musk for busting up these strikes that were happening. And it's my favorite time of year. It's not just summer, but it is fuck around and find out season. So take a look at this. As recently reported, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are now being sued by the United Auto Workers Union, which is amazing because last week the UAW just came out in support and endorsed Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, right? And so not only have they made their allegiance known, but now they're suing Donald Trump and Elon Musk for what they're calling threats and intimidations to workers. Amazing. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, folks. It's just so fucking good. Right. And, I don't know where the court case will go. It doesn't matter, but it is my favorite season. The air is so crisp in the fuck around and find out season. So then, not to keep the crazy train, derailed or anything like that. Donald Trump just loves to keep it going. Choo choo. So up next, he is shown I guess a picture, the latest cover of Time magazine, which features Vice President Kamala Harris with, I believe that the caption reads, "Her moment." And it is beautiful. It is a drawing of her, and it's powerful, right? This woman of color, this Black woman, this Indian woman who is on the precipice of becoming the very first female president of the United States. So what does Donald Trump say? Take a listen.
And actually, she looked very much like our great first lady, Melania. She didn't look, she didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah, he actually said that who he refers to as Camilla, because he's a fucking preschooler, looks like Melania. Sir, how? How? How does this Indian and Jamaican woman look like your Eastern European mail order bride? Please make it make sense. But here's what folks need to be reminded of. This is not the first time that Donald Trump has confused another woman for one of his many wives. Because if you remember in his deposition in the E. Jean Carroll case, when he was shown a picture of E. Jean Carroll during the time frame at which he sexually assaulted her, he thought that it was Marla, one of his other wives. And when he was shown the picture and said, "Who is this?" And he said, "Marla." And then he was told, "No, that's E. Jean Carroll." And he said, well, she looks like Marla. So I guess, yeah, E. Jean was his type.
I don't even know who the woman. Let's see. I don't know who. It's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla. Yeah, that's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to?
No, that's
Here.
Carol.
Oh, is that?
The person
oh,
you just pointed to was
oh,
E.
I
Jean
see.
Carroll.
Who is that? Who is
Furthest
this?
point, your wife.
And the woman on the right is your then wife,
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture.
Ivana.
I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carol.
Carol? Because it's very blurry.
Nonetheless, what annoys me right now is that when you Google the Kamala Harris Time magazine cover, what you're going to see is a bunch of news stories of Donald Trump saying that he thinks that she's attractive and looks like Melania. I mean, again, Shonda Rhimes couldn't make this shit up. But let us round out because what we know over the last couple of weeks, and it's not even been a couple of weeks. Who am I kidding, folks? All of this is going by so fast. But recently, when Vice President Kamala Harris named Governor Walz, Coach Walz, her vice president, Republicans were tripping over themselves to find a way to criticize him. This man that checks literally every single good box. He is just a series of green flags. Like, there is nothing bad about him. Oh, and people are trying to figure out because he doesn't own any stocks and he's not rich, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, the 99% of us thinks it's a good thing. But I want you to take a listen to Governor Walz, who most recently was at the Ask Me conference on his service, his military service. Take a listen to this.
These guys are even attacking me for my record of service. And I just want to say, I'm proud to serve my country, and I always will be. With my dad's encouragement, a guy who served in the Army during the Korean War, I signed up for the Army National Guard 2 days after my 17th birthday. I served for the next 24 years for the same reason all my brothers and sisters in uniform do. We love this country. Then in 2005, I felt the call of duty again, this time of being service to my country in the halls of Congress. My students inspired me to run for that office, and I was proud to make it to Washington. I was a member of the Veterans Affairs Committee and a champion of our men and women in uniform. I'm going to say it again as clearly as I can. I am damn proud of my service to this country. And I firmly believe you should never denigrate another person's service record. To anyone brave enough to put on that uniform for our great country, including my opponent, I just have a few simple words. Thank you for your service and sacrifice.
You see, this is a man with class. We know that JD Vance knows nothing about that because you don't criticize someone's military service, because if they are brave enough to put on a uniform to defend this country, nothing should come from you except for applause and adoration. You know, the things that you adorn Donald Trump with, the king of bone spurs and the man who became wealthy because of his daddy and not because of any ideas that he offered up. I just love this response from Governor Walz because he's not going to get into the mud with these people because it's unnecessary. And he even goes so far as to commend JD Vance on his service, right? Because nothing will get under these people's skin more than you being decent. Oh, and funny. Oh, and joyful. All of the things that MAGA isn't. But let us leave you today on Get Woke with just another cover of VP Kamala Harris. And this time, she is the cover star over at Essence Magazine. Take a look at this. I mean, you can't get better. And we know that alone, all of the covers that are going to roll out with her face on it are just going to tear Donald Trump up. Because let me just harken back to the Time magazine. You all do know that Donald Trump made a mock version of Time magazine before he was president that hung in one of his country clubs, like a fake version, because that's how much covers and coverage mean to him. It's wild, folks. It's wild, the place that we are in. But you know, the other thing that I will say real quick before I truly, truly let you go is if you are not following Kamala HQ, I swear, folks, you are absolutely missing out. That Twitter account, Threads account, and they even made a Truth Social account. It is breathtaking the way that they are able to just go after Donald Trump, go after Republicans in real fucking time. It's brilliant. And it's everything that I have wanted Democrats to do since the beginning of time. Be on offense, right? Punch back, make it funny, make it brilliant, make it witty. And that is exactly what Kamala HQ has been doing all over social media. So, friends, get into it. That is it for me today on Get Woke with Danielle Moodie. I will be back on Saturday with a brand new episode. As always, power to the people and to all the people power.